Do you want to get an answer in degrees or in radians? Degrees just makes more sense. So what should you make sure your mode is? Okay, make sure your mode is in degrees. And then once you have that in, you're going to push graph. Now, at first your answer is not going to look as clear because it's probably giving you a different window. So I'm going to have you change your window here, okay? So what I want you to change your window to, will everyone push the window button? It's right along the top. It's the second button in. Let's change your X max to be 100. And let's let your Y max to be 50. And then graph that. Now what mine's starting to look like is it's kind of making levels off and then it goes down. Is that what yours looks like? Something like this? This is when I'm actually going to turn the page to this one. If we were to actually make it more than 100, make it 200, 300, 400, it would look something like this. Now, what is this graph of? This is theta. This is your viewing angle, right? And what do we want the angle to be? As big as possible. In other words, we want that point. You know how your calculator is going to find that point? Remember how to find a maximum point on your calculator? You use a maximum function, right? So what we're going to do is, do you have your graph here? You're going to go and push second trace, or in other words, you're going to do calc, second trace. And the fourth option is you're going to find the maximum. Does everyone see that? Now, left bound means just go to the left side of where the maximum is and push enter. Right bound means just go to the right side of where you think it is and push enter. Mine has kind of a flat spot, so I'm just going like to the right and left of it. And when it says guess, what do you do there? You put it where in the middle you think it is. You put a guess. And then this is going to come back and give you the maximum, okay? Now, what did you guys get that the coordinates were for that point right here? What is our maximum? What's the x value? Did you get 54.08? All right, if you didn't get this, I'll come around in a second and just double check to make sure you're pushing the right buttons. Just pause and look up at me real quick. 54.08 and 10.47 are the coordinates of the maximum. Let's make sure we understand what this is. What does a 54.08 represent? This is your distance from the screen. And what does a 10.47 represent? That is theta in degrees. So, if you're at Dodger Stadium and you're sitting on the grass, and it's just like the story problem that we said right here, the best place for you to sit would be 54 feet away. That would give you the maximum angle of the screen, which is 10.47. The only problem is that you'd probably then be sitting like on the field, like in the outfield with the pitchers, right? Might disrupt the game, but it would be fun. Okay, now, this was a big, long, scary story problem. But can you kind of see how we got it to work? Number one, drawing a good picture is critical. But we basically took our picture and made two angles, one where you see the top, one where you see the bottom. And then we were able to say, well, theta is the difference between those two angles. We came up with an equation here. And this would be too hard to, like, just come up with the values or to solve. So we just graphed this, and then we were able to figure out the maximum point using our calculator. By the way, guess what you do in calculus? You take these things and you learn how to find these maximum points by taking derivatives. Doesn't that sound exciting? Don't worry, the equations aren't as scary as this one, though. They start out pretty easy. Okay, cool. That wraps up what we're going to do today. What I want you to do, we still have just a minute, so go to this last one, and just to summarize what we've learned here, just kind of go over these ones super fast as we're wrapping up. You're going to do the homework, and then I'm going to see you guys on Wednesday for our last section in Chapter 4. And then I won't see you until the following Wednesday when what? What are we doing that next Wednesday? Reviewing for your test Friday. If you need help, what are you going to do? Come after school. Good job, guys.